Hello and welcome back to Fit Life with Alicia. I'm Alicia. I'm going to show you today how to make this into this. Hello and welcome back to Fit Life with Alicia. I'm doing something a little different today. I'm sharing one of my favorite summer meals. If you grow a garden, you probably most likely grow zucchini and summer squash, which we love, but it's something that we end up with a ton of, like too much of, right? Even just a couple of zucchini plants can give you a ton of zucchini, which is great, but we often get to a point in the summertime where we're like, we don't know what to do with all of this. And so the last couple of years, we've worked on trying to come up with some fun, different recipes that are out of the norm for us that we haven't done very much. And so today I want to show you one recipe that we've liked a lot, and that is zucchini lasagna. And that's using zucchini in place of regular lasagna noodles. And we like this because it's low carb, it cuts back on calories. We really like lasagna. We love pasta in general, but we don't want the carbs and the calories from those noodles. And so we have found that we actually seem to really like using the zucchini in place of those noodles better than using those pasta noodles, which I was surprised about because I love pasta. It's one of my favorite meals, and I kind of hated the idea of giving up my traditional pasta recipes. But we have found, like I said, that we really love using this, and we'll use yellow squash sometimes as well. One recipe we tried last year that we loved was we bought a spiralizer off Amazon, and we just made zucchini noodles or squash noodles out of those, and we used that in place of just spaghetti noodles when we made spaghetti. And we feel so good when we eat that because we know we're putting healthier food in our bodies, and it just feels better. We feel better after we eat these meals too. It doesn't feel as heavy and doesn't make us feel as sluggish. So today I just want to share this recipe with you. It's one we really like a lot, and I have everything kind of ready, and so I'm just going to kind of talk and put it together as I go. But one thing I did, so we made this recipe last year for the first time, and one thing I didn't do that I am doing differently today is I would just slice the zucchini, put it in there, layer it how you would a lasagna, and I baked it, and my lasagna came out soupy. And if you know zucchini, it has a lot of water in it, and so the thing I did differently today is I just sliced my zucchini, I put it on a cookie sheet, and I baked it. And I put a little olive oil and sprinkled a little salt, and I baked it for about 15 minutes, and that baked out a lot of the moisture. So I'm hoping that will keep us from having a soupy lasagna. And it tasted good still, but it just was hard to eat. So that is my sliced zucchini. A lot of people will slice it long ways, but that's kind of a pain unless you have one of those tools. I don't know what they're called, but I just slice them in the circles, in the rounds, and then I just cut them in half after that, and they're easy to just layer in there, and it works really well as well. So, and then I have my pasta sauce right here. This is just a basic lasagna recipe. There's nothing really special about it. I have turkey sausage, spicy turkey sausage as the meat, and I just use one of my favorite jarred or bottled from the store pasta sauces, and then I kind of season it up with some extra seasoning. I throw some extra garlic powder and some garlic salt and some Italian seasoning, and we like it that way. The other thing I maybe do a little differently than most recipes is I use cottage cheese instead of ricotta. I like the taste of it better, so that's what I do, but a lot of people like the ricotta. So anyway, so I'm just gonna get started here with my pasta sauce, and I'm just gonna layer it on the bottom, a few scoops. And then once I have that done, then you'll wanna use your noodles. So that's my sauce, and then I just take these noodles and I layer them like this. And I have a lot of them, so I may really put a good layering in there. And And they work really good. They taste really good. I've been surprised at how much more I like this. It gives it a better flavor than just using your plain lasagna noodles as well. And like I said, we just feel so much better after we eat this. We know we've put a healthier food in our bodies. We just don't feel as tired and heavy after eating this meal. So, and now here's our cheese mixture will go on. And I have also, a lot of recipes call for just Parmesan and mozzarella cheese, which I do use those, but I also use an Italian mix because I like the flavor. I feel like it gives it a little more flavor, a little more kick to it that I like as well. So I oftentimes, when I take recipes, I'll kind of just tweak them a little bit to my taste and to what I like better. So let's see, and then we'll do more sauce. And we'll do another layer of zucchini. They're a little harder to work with now that they've been cooked, but I am willing to deal with that so that I don't get the runny, soupy lasagna that I got last time. Now, our kids don't like this recipe as much, so Mike and I will be probably eating this ourselves for the next few days, but it reheats really well and you can freeze it, which is nice, which we may also do some individual portions and put those in the freezer for lunches, or if we're just kind of on the go at different times of the day, either for dinners or whatever. So I like that about this recipe as well, as it easily reheats and it easily freezes and then thaws if you want to eat it later. Let's see. Do the cheese mixture. We are almost done here. This is actually a fairly quick recipe, which I also like. And you can make smaller portions of it if you don't want as much, but like I said, this is something we'll eat on for the next few days, which is really nice. Okay, and then just one more application of the meat, and then we'll do the cheese on top, and it'll be ready to go into the oven to bake. And this turned out really well. I usually kind of eyeball it. I'm not one for following recipes for these kinds of things as far as measurements go. I just kind of throw stuff together. And this one actually turned out just right, exactly how much I needed. That doesn't always happen. Okay, I'm just gonna grab a paper towel really quick. Okay, now for the Italian cheese blend. Like I said, I like this just because it adds a little more extra flavor to it than just the plain Parmesan, which I enjoy. The other nice thing about this is when it goes into the oven, I don't have uncooked noodles, which sometimes you use the uncooked noodles for zucchini, so you don't have to bake it quite as long because everything's done. It just needs to be good and hot and melty, so that doesn't take as long, which is nice. Especially if you're gonna bake the zucchini, you can have them baking while you're prepping the cheese part and the sauce. So this actually seems to save time, which is great, because we all need a little more time in our lives, right? Okay. So I think that's ready, and we'll pop this in the oven for, I don't know, 15 or 20 minutes, just until it's nice and hot and melty. Okay, now we wait. The cucumber, all of those things, when I eat them now out of the garden, it reminds me of being a kid and helping my parents with the garden back then. And so it's really fun to have our own and to be having those memories every summer and remember how much we love that as a family. So yeah, that was always a highlight of our summertime. One of the highlights was the bounty out of, sorry, sneak over here. The bounty out of the garden that we grew each summer. And I remember my mom would wake us up a lot of times early in the morning to come and help weed the garden, which we didn't love, but then it was always fun to pull out those yummy veggies and enjoy them in the evenings with our dinner. So yeah, I feel like this turned out pretty good. I'm happy with that. We're gonna let it cool for a few minutes, and then we're gonna cut into it and see. Hopefully it's not as soupy as it was before.